This presentation is hosted by UGAIN, the University of Guelph Animal Interest Network, and today we're going to be talking about dog breed deformities. Dog breeding involves selecting for desired traits to create offspring that look like a specific breed. This selection is often for the appearance or performance, whatever the selection goals are for the breeder. Purebred dogs often have a higher incidence of disease, usually resulting from high artificial selection pressures on specific traits in a closed population. Since these breeds have been selected for many years now, as you select for similar characteristics time and time again, you lose the genetic diversity in your gene pool. Meaning, as you select for certain characteristics, the population of these animals see more and more similar genetic makeup since the animals are becoming more homogeneous, so there's less genetic variation. Because of this, there is inevitably going to be inbreeding, which to some extent is fine and helps breeders create a uniform-looking breed. But if not watching for inbreeding, this can lead to some serious issues. If inbreeding becomes excessive and starts impacting other phenotypes of the dog, it creates inbreeding depression. Inbreeding depression reduces the population's fitness by impacting their immune system and reproductive system. Severely inbred dogs often have fertility problems, more health issues, and live shorter. Many breeds' welfare are coming into speculation as the selection for certain traits has led to common health issues and shorter lifespan within the breed. Part of the issue is when these breeds were originally established. We didn't know about the problems inbreeding could create, so many of these breeds are based off of years of inbreeding because we weren't aware. This is from using popular breeding stock over and over again or breeding within a small closed population, which makes it harder to avoid mating siblings or cousins in the future. The English Bulldog was recently genetically profiled and found to have very low genetic diversity due to a small founding population and highly specific artificial selection. While there's still some phenotypic and genotypic diversity within the population, it is so low that researchers question if it's even possible to reverse selection to improve their health. The Bulldog is a brachycephalic breed, so their heads are flatter due to their selection. The flat face is a result of a skull and head shape changes, which often leads to difficulty breathing as their nasal canal is shorter, but their soft palate is the same length. Their upper jaw is also shorter than their lower jaw, making it difficult to eat. Bulldogs now often need medical intervention to reproduce as their body proportions make this difficult. Another example of inbreeding leading to common health problems is in German Shepherds, which are in the top 10 dog breeds with the highest prevalence of hip dysplasia. Hip dysplasia is when the hip socket isn't in the right place, which can lead to hip dislocation. This trait is influenced by genetics and environmental factors, but seems to be affected by many different genes. Pugs are one of the most inbred dog breeds. Their flat face presents challenges when breathing. They have brachycephalic obstructive airway syndrome, making it difficult to breathe and exercise. Would you classify this as a welfare concern? Because since they cannot breathe properly, they can overheat in hot weather since their ability to thermoregulate is compromised. Pugs are also more prone to obesity and eye infections since their eyes bulge from their heads. Their screw tail is formed by a wedge-shaped bone, which anywhere else in the spine can cause paralysis. Finally, they can have skin issues from the folds in their face, which can collect dirt and debris and cause a skin infection. Chihuahuas are a small dog, and their size and low skeletal mass makes them extremely fragile. Their smaller skull leads to bulging eyes, which can be more prone to infection. And their smaller skull has also contributed to poor teeth, often with not enough room to fill them all. And moral coat colors in Chihuahuas are associated with deafness. Can this be reversed? It is possible to reverse these characteristics through reverse selection. This involves broadening the genetic diversity in the population by breeding the most unrelated and genetically different dogs. We can also introduce new alleles and increase the genetic diversity by crossbreeding. This involves mating two animals of different breeds. When breeding, we can make more informed decisions when selecting mates by using selection tools. This can decrease the chance of inbreeding and limit the chance of it in the future. Additionally, with more informed selection decisions, we can be more accurate in what we're selecting and the outcomes we'll see. To make breeding even more accurate, we can use breeding values with their parent information. When breeding, there are many strategies that can be used to avoid inbreeding and breeding-related individuals. This can be very helpful in maintaining the genetic diversity within the population. To encourage all breeders to make a change in their breeding decisions, we can revise breed standards so the desired traits don't impact the health and welfare of the dog. Some discussion questions for you to think about. Do breeders have a moral obligation to prevent these deformities? Are consumers the one to blame? Should certain characteristics or breeds be banned? What would be the next step? Do you think consumers would resist the shift? These are the sources I used to create this presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and please join us in our weekly discussions on Thursdays at 6:30 with UGAIN.